What if I told you you are a narcissist? And what if I told you that answer was yes? Now, what does a narcissist mean? A narcissist means someone who's self-absorbed, someone who's only interested in their own needs and only cares about the opinions of others and being seen as the best. They are very egotistical and they only care about being the best. They only care about being seen as the best. The end goal wanting to be successful is to get seen as successful. They want to get worshipped. They want to be seen as someone who is unattainable. Someone who wants to be attainable. Who wants to be desired to be attainable. Now, are we like that? No, because narcissists put their feelings above others. And I hope that you don't. Because narcissists put people's aside, put people's feelings to the side, and they use them to get to where they want. Napoleon, example, and I think it's 1804, when documents were being made about him, he would edit them to make himself look better. Don't believe me? Go ahead, do your own research. Psychologists themselves were justifying Napoleon's actions, and they even came to a conclusion that Napoleon could even be a narcissist. Fudge. Okay, so they came to the conclusion that Napoleon could be a narcissist, but I think so very well too that he is a narcissist because he used people. He was a very strategic man. If I'm having frustration speaking, I don't know if I'm dyslexic or something. I don't know what's going on in my head. I gotta self-evaluate myself, but that's not part of the video. Now, Napoleon, I believe, is a narcissist. He was a very strategic man, and he stood on business. He only cared about war, and he cared about being seen in the best spotlight. There's moments where people can testify that they've seen impatience in him, especially in moments where he would kind of feel where he could, it could be seen that he would feel belittled. So he would stand up, feel righteousness, and do whatever his ego felt. Great strategist. I think he was like a great man about war. Just honestly, he was a G. But was he a good human being? Not really. I don't think so. Now, what makes us like Napoleon? What makes us like narcissist? What makes us want, look, or seem similar to those who put other people's feelings aside and use them? Well, we care about people's feelings. We feel guilt. Thankfully, all praise to God, we have emotions. And we feel guilt. And we have some form of humanity in us. We know we could feel other people's feelings. We have at least that much of an ability to read people's emotions that we could see other people cry, thankfully. We could see other people feel down, somewhat depressed, things of that nature. But the thing is, we too are self-absorbed. We care about our own interests sometimes before others. Now, this may not be the case with people who you feel accepted towards, because when it comes to people you love, you are very lenient and you're selfless. You put their interest, other people's interest before yours. And it's not like in a needy way. It's because you genuinely care about them. So you want to, make that person feel good. You want that person to have a great meal. You want to sponsor his meal. Go ahead. Things like that. Family and all that. We naturally just have this sense of grace towards others. We care about. But to those we don't, we are self-absorbed. We do not care about their feelings, to be honest. We could be having a conversation, but we cannot be in tune with the conversation. We can know what a person says, but we do not know what a person means. You don't truly know where they're coming from. And I feel like because of that, self-interest into what we have to say, into what we think. We put it over other people's feelings and over what they have to say in a conversation. And we forget we never truly experience a good conversation, or we never truly get to meet that person or a person in general, simply because we only care about ourselves, or we only care about our thoughts and what other people think of us. So we don't say other things, or we don't approach that person, or we don't raise our hand in class, or we don't want to risk being wrong in certain situations. We want to be seen as like fit in, or we don't want to get made fun of. We don't want to get judged because we're too maybe extroverted, or maybe because our idea is not good. We may think it's stupid, so we're gonna have an assumption other people think it's stupid. Things like that. So we repress ourselves. We display a certain front, and we kind of live our lives based on certain actions of fear of getting judged. And what this does is that we become too worried about how people view us. We become too worried about what we got going on in our lives. And we have a bias. An example is LGBTQ community. Wow. Very touching topic. But that could be used as a good example. They pushed their idea about like being gay and turning into a microwave. But if you say no, you're wrong. Being turned into a microwave is right. But you're wrong if you don't think turning into a microwave is wrong. Like that, Stupid shit like that. But it's a good example. It's a good example. Why? Because it represents our bias. A better one is that when someone, if you think you're good in a certain subject, it could be cars, it could be math, it could be English, it could be anything. The conversation can be about anything. But someone mentions an idea and you think it's wrong, and you don't know, and you haven't came to a formal, logical conclusion why they're wrong, and you just think they're wrong because they're wrong, and it doesn't feel right. That's a form of narcissism, because you are coming to a biased conclusion and you're putting your own opinion above theirs without coming to a logical conclusion or trying to care about their opinion. Sometimes we tend to feel that we are smarter than we are. There's been a study, psychological study, don't know where, don't know when. I could search it up, but I'm not about to do it. You know what? Fuck it. There's been a study that the majority of people tend to think that they're smarter than the average individual. People tend to think, which is, it could be you. You could be thinking that you're smarter than other people. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. The smarter you feel, the dumber you are. I'm going to just read a quick one and say, if you're like most people, you are likely to be very good at something and you openly admit it, that you are less competent at something else. However, we've all met someone in our work life who always overestimates their knowledge or ability of certain topic or skill. Now, someone who thinks they're like very good at something, someone who thinks they're very good at math, someone who thinks they're very good at soccer, someone who thinks they're very good at something like knowing about cars, fixing things, dumb shit. Someone who thinks they're very good at things in general. Anything. It says, even Shakespeare himself, the GOAT, he said, the fool thinks himself to be wise, while a wise man knows himself to be a fool. It's very good to have humility and to know that you could be wrong. And I think it's a good mindset to always think that you're wrong until you've actually confirmed something or you evidently proved it yourself. Example, a way for you to prove evidently things to yourself is that if you think you're not egotistical, I want you to just try to be aware about certain times. You could think back, or you could just wait till the day comes. Someone tells you an opinion. You may judge them, you may do something. It's just anything that's negative, that pushes them down, or you disagreeing. And if it's not logical, or if it's not you trying to understand their point of view, as soon as you feel wrong about them, it's an example of narcissism. Because you're not fully comprehending the other person. You're just making a biased decision. Simply because you believe yourself to be smarter or more knowledgeable. And oftentimes you may not be. Oftentimes you may not be as smart as you think you are. You may take a quiz on what you think you know. You could be more wrong than right. Personal experience begins with personal experience. I sometimes think I'm smarter than other people. I have those thoughts. Sometimes because I'm more self-aware, I feel I'm more self-aware than people. I happen to think I'm smarter. But then it pisses me off. And I'm like, who the fuck do I think I am? Like, who am I? I'm nobody. Like, I'm a fool. At the end of the day, I don't have a PhD to my name. I just happen to be informed. I'm just a random kid who happens to be informed. And I try to inform myself. And gladfully, everything that I do know, and I'm saying it from proven evidence, facts, studies, books, personal experience. And what could be stronger than that? Obviously, I don't have a PhD to give you credibility. You're just going to have to, take my ethos, which is a very, 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 very illogical and not strong support. But it's good to be able to prove yourself wrong and to think that you're wrong. Always question yourself. Always be self-awareness is great. That's what builds self-esteem. It's what helps you get you to know yourself. Because one thing about narcissism is that you care too much about pleasing others. You care too much about being wrong. So you never develop that inner sense to know it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to not be the best. If you have ambitions, go ahead, chase them. But chase them for your own needs. Chase them because you want to. Don't chase them because you feel like other people are going to admire you, acknowledge you. People, I don't know if you've seen the alpha male, stuff like that, like self-improve. People will notice you. You're a Sigma. Like all that bullshit. Because now you got people trying to improve themselves for other people. Simply because they're hurt. They're butthurt. I'm a prime example. I used to be in that mindset. Gladfully I left that mindset. Thank God. God did. Thank God. I'm no longer in that mindset of me trying to please people, me trying to improve myself for other people. I improve myself for my own. I don't give a damn about your opinion. Care about God though. Care about God though. You know what I'm saying? Care about God though. Yeah. Screw other people's opinion. Curb their opinion. Curb stomp it. But you should mainly only care about your opinion. No, that sounded wrong. You should try. Stick to what you know and feel strong about it. Know what you want, know what you dislike. But be able to prove yourself wrong. Be capable of saying no to yourself. Whenever a moment comes if someone disagrees with you, or if someone tells you something that you don't agree with, get to know that person's opinion. Try to prove yourself wrong. Show some humility. Whenever you're in a conversation and you're speaking to someone, try to listen attentively. Listen to what they have to say. Stop focusing about that fucking Fortnite tournament you got later at 5 o'clock. Nobody cares. Unless that person is really talking about Fortnite and they, y'all trying to link up to get that shit done, then it's Mando. But if that person is like talking about what they got going on, or if they're trying to figure something out, or their favorite topic, or what they like about, what they do for fun, listen. You're not that important, or you're not that high and mighty, I'm not telling you to belittle you. It's just like to let you know other people are like you too. People are self-absorbed. And sometimes it's like that when you're having a conversation with another person. You feel like they're not 100% listening to you. And that is all right. That is all right to feel like you're not listening, because we're all self-absorbed. We all struggle having conversation. A true, meaningful conversation is knowing where a person is coming from, knowing exactly what they're saying, knowing exactly what they mean, knowing their opinion, whether we accept it or not, and moving on. Knowing that at the end of that conversation, you are going to feel some type of way about that person. And it's not in a bad manner. It's in a great manner. You're going to feel like you're going to get to know the person more. You're going to understand the individual. You're going to understand where they're coming from. It's great overall to have an opinion. Like, it's not wrong. But being able to not accept it is wrong. Because eventually you become egotistical. If you're not able to accept other people's information, well, you're limited. Your information is limited. If you have this much information over a subject of math, and everyone, if you think everyone is like this, which could be, or not, you think you have this much information, but that's your assumption. You think, it's possible that someone in that fucking room could have someone like gigantic, like Rasengan type shit. Bad analogy, terrible analogy. But I hope you know where I went. That people, don't underestimate people. People are smart. Every individual is unique. And just know that. But then every person is a unique thing that you will like. Let's see. Let's look back into that article of Napoleon. The complexity of the human mind. The more we study something, the less we know about it. It's a beautiful paradox. That only people who really dig deep into what they're learning can experience. On the other hand, people who dabble on the surface of anything they pursue will never know how much they have to learn. So if you think you're smarter than everyone, don't. Because there's such more knowledge out there. There's always someone who's smarter than you. There's always someone who's faster, better, stronger, blah, blah, blah. Don't overestimate yourself. Remind yourself that you're human. At the end of the day, you're a 1 out of 1 human experience that is unique and cannot be replicated. And that within that 1 out of 1 experience, it is up to you to change or to stay the same way you are. That was a fucking banger quote. I go cap. Oh shit. Yo, I cooked. Okay. I'm yapping. But yeah, we're all narcissistic. But there's levels to it. I'm not saying you're a narcissist, but there's levels to it, We're just somewhat self-absorbed. And what it means to be a narcissist is to be self-absorbed. We just have certain levels of self-absorption. Yeah. I need to put disclaimers, like put this video to the side. Just listen to me like as if I was a podcast, because I'm a yapper. I know my videos are not entertaining. If you made it this far, consider yourself a very humble human being. Not because I say it, but just think about the fact that I have no credibility. I'm really not someone who's has a PhD. I'm not someone who seems unique. Not that, celebrities are unique. At the end of the day, everyone's a human being. It's just we all have different amounts of knowledge, and maybe our personalities are more entertaining than others because, well, unfortunately, we live in a world of people who are repressed, and someone who's not repressed is someone who is valued. They are put on a podium because, like, oh my God, I want to be like Travis Scott. I'm the highest in the room. Dumbasses. Actually, I shouldn't say that. What am I saying? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that people value people like that. It's unfortunate. Dude, I have strong debates within myself of like trying to get out of my ego and be more of like a humble, because when I'm humble and I get more analytical. When I'm egotistical, I'm more judgmental, and I don't get to see the full picture. I don't get to see the full picture of people who are suffering, people who are egotistical, people who are narcissists, people who are rude, jackasses, and all like that. Whatever you describe it. I like it when I'm very humble, because I get analytical. I understand them. I understand where they're coming from. I know who you are. I know what type of man you are. Things like that. I love getting analytical. One last time, use yourself as confirming evidence. I could say this very much. If anything, I'll pull up an article and I'll put it in my link of this video, proving that using yourself as self-confirmation for human behavior is a great way to confirm your ideas. That if you think someone is self-absorbed, if you think people are anxious when certain things happen in certain situations, you could search it up yourself. You could look at yourself. You know, if you think guys don't get nervous when talk to girls, or if you think people don't get nervous when they raise their hand and get it wrong, put yourself in those situations. See how you feel. You know, and because we're human, we naturally will care somewhat about other people's thoughts. But then, you know, that part of us comes in like, hey, it is what it is. I got it wrong. It's all right. I'll get it next time. Or I'll keep learning. Or at least now I learned. Things like that. I'll provide a link to that self-confirmation type of method. That is a last gem. I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching this fucking documentary. Because, wow, it's so long. Like, wow. Excuse my cussing. I actually really do need to fix my cussing in general. I like the idea of cussing in like dumb ways, like fudge, biscuits, toodles, or like, I find it funny. That's my humor. Got something wrong about it? Got something wrong about it? Do something. Alright, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Blessed night, blessed day, whatever y'all doing. Keep improving yourself. I'm lagging too much, man. I'm gonna upload again. Trust me. I will. Later.